Okay? Ano
swing. And so if you're a pitcher, you take that as a win. I can throw fastball in the zone, but I can also throw a changeup out of the zone.
Lanier hard to second base, gloved by Valier, flipped over to first. That is a difficult play that she made look easy.
Yeah, she stayed composed when that ball was hit. I would love to know the exit velocity off of that ball. I love that Lanier let that ball travel later in the zone. Got full barrel on it, but sometimes you hit it right at people, and that's the tough part about softball is you got to hit it where they're not.
Bane of my existence were atom balls. First pitch ball to Alexia Gagliano, who just started that double play to get Canada out of the bottom of the first inning. Mono stays low and out, 2-0. Now Sheely did work around the strike zone. Canada made her work through over 20 pitches in that first inning. If you're Sheely, how do you go about locating in a way that you feel benefits you here?
Yeah, I think we saw her confidence grow throughout that first inning, kind of the momentum shifting a little bit towards southeast side. It's one of those things where you just got to control your nerves a little bit. You know you're playing on TV. You're at the Little League World Series. You got all those butterflies in your stomach. And so that first inning, especially for pitchers when all eyes are on you, makes it a little bit more difficult. But Sheely looks like she's really started to settle in. I know she's behind in this account, but her misses have been a little bit closer this inning.
Did deliver a 4-pitch walk to Gagliano, so Canada another runner on. Third walk of the game for Sheely. Now Irmo, Little League, no stranger to the Senior League World Series. They were here 2 years ago in 2024, ended up being runners-up in that tournament. They've made their way back this year. Only have 2 players that will age out after this season. First pitch ball inside, skips to the backstop as Gagliano scampers over to second base.
And that pitch just looked like it slipped out of Sheely's hand just a little bit early. But Dorian, when you say only 2 players that are able to age out after this year, this is a young team, and this is a pretty big stage for a young team. So just everyone on the field, including Sheely, having to deal with some of those nerves when you play your first game of the tournament.
Oh, heads up. Fatusi nearly took out her teammate over there along the first base dugout.
Yeah, you got to be heads up, especially with these fields. The dugouts are a little bit closer to home plate. Good job by Ashe there on deck, dodging that ball.
Fast on the base pass, fast on the sidelines as well. 1-1 to the third baseman. Off speed, stayed a little bit too far in, 2-1. And Fatusi, one of the most competitive players on this Canada side. Coaches says she doesn't even know what being scared of the ball means. Put into play, hard over to third, throw to first. In time, but it's going to move the runner. As Gagliano safe, standing on third.
And Lewis at third. I love that she used her entire body to keep that ball in front, just being a wall, a little bit of a bubble, but because of the speed and direction of this ball off of Fatusi's bat, you can see that right knee kind of going down to block it. That saves a run, because if it deflects off her at any cost, that could be a run.
Turns the lineup over for the leadoff batter, Kellyanne Ashe. First pitch swinging, lifted foul. Ashe walked in her first at bat, got caught up in a safety squeeze trying to score. It was a great defensive play between Sheely and West to cut her down at the plate. And go back to those plays. There's also the run down, that one driven out to center field, but right into the waiting hands of Earl. Sheely walks around, or works around a one-out walk to keep Canada scoreless. They'll come to bat in the bottom of the second. Here at Lions Field, Team Canada scored 2 runs in the top of the first inning. 2 outs, that ball lifted into shallow center field. It was dropped. Runners come in to score after a miscounted ball allowed the inning to continue. And then Canada getting a scoreless defensive inning on the other side as we welcome you back into Lions Field. Riley West, Dorian Kraft, happy to have you with us. Bottom second, Southeast at the plate. And first pitch swinging, hit hard out of play.
Dorian, it's hard to believe it's only the second inning. I feel like we've seen a little bit of everything. Some elite plays, double play, line drive, as well as we saw great base running, a couple outs in between third and home, good pitching, some strikeouts, some controversial calls. We've seen just about everything, and it's only inning 2.
Malia Lewis, the third baseman, the first to bat in the bottom of the second for Southeast. It'll be Lewis, Earl, and Sherrard. Strike called on the outside corner, and Turmel picking up right where she left off in the first inning.
And look at the way she's able to just flick that out of her wrist, almost like she's pushing it. You see oftentimes people do a flip change. With that one, the grip of it, it's really hard to identify as a batter when you don't see the back of the hand. It comes out looking the same exact way as a fastball, but there's a little something taken off of it.
Lewis, chopper to short, Gagliano over to first, just in time, got Lewis by a step.
Softball's a game of inches. Lewis, that speed going down first base. Gaglione, because of the way that ball was hit, she had to move her body towards third, not really able to charge it based on her positioning. So that's why it made for a close play at first, as well as the speed of Lewis getting down the line.
Rylan the lefty standing in, the hero of the regional championship game. It was Earl that had the dropped infield pop-up. South Carolina, they went 4-0 in regionals. They won the championship 1-0. That was the tightest game played at any point in that regional. You see 32-13 had to come from behind in their opener, won that in extra innings. But Earl starting off that championship final inning with a single brought home by Savannah Pageant. They don't know the meaning of the word quit. One, two. Called strike 3. Second strikeout of the game for Turmel.
And Turmel looked like she took a little something off of this. It's a rise ball in the lower part of the zone. You could see the energy she had after that. She knew as soon as it was out of her hand. Might have seen a little bit of a wave. I love when pitchers have energy in the circle. It fires your defense up behind. But Turmel, she knew out of her hand that was a strike.
The first pitch strike delivered there as well. Harper Sherrard standing in. And Turmel really peppering the strike zone. I love that for Sherrard. Looks up to her grandpa.
Yeah, she has a really amazing relationship with her grandpa. She described it as an indescribable relationship because of how close and how much he means to her.
Turmel quickly ahead in the count, 0-2. That one stays low, but I like the decision there.
When you're 0-2, when I caught, I told my pitchers, throw it in the other batter's box. Don't let them be able to get a barrel on it. I like that Turmel's using both parts of the zone, the top and the bottom.
Strike 3. Back-to-back Ks to slam the door as Southeast goes down an order in the bottom of the second. Team Canada.
And Turmel using the inner half this time, just composed in the circle. More of that when we get back.
Little League on Facebook, X, Instagram, YouTube, and TikTok at the official handles at Little League. And don't forget to use hashtag LLWS. Make sure you know that down there along the third base sideline, getting all that Little League World Series content. It's not just here on the broadcast, but you can find it all over social media at every level of Little League. As we get set to start the top of the third inning here at Lions Field, Team Canada plated 2 runs in the top of the first inning. That's the only scoring up until this point. Batters 2, 3, 4 due up for Canada, Martel, Beaudoin, and Dupont. As first pitch swinging at the drop ball is Martel.
Martel laid down a bunt her first at bat, so I know with that swing it tells me a lot up here. It tells me she wants to hit the ball this time. Last time it was right around home plate where she was able to lay it down towards third.
Pulls this one to the shortstop side. Paget, little bobble, and Martel going to be safe.
And Martel showing off that speed once again. She hit this ball a little bit off the end of her barrel, kind of had a little bit different spin. So Paget there at shortstop, trying to work right, left through the ball. Just a tiny bit of a bobble, but with the speed of Martel, able to easily get down the line.
Eve Beaudoin standing in. She scored the first run for Canada in the first. Little flare behind third base. Tough play made by Lewis. I gotta tell you, as a former third baseman, that is not easy to do.
And we talked about it earlier in the game, the hardest play for infielders to make is often when they're running backwards to grab a ball. Lewis did a good job. We can hear her from up here. She said got it immediately. Continued to have her feet moving while she's catching the ball. One thing you couldn't see was Martel's base running at first. She was halfway to second base, but I do really like that base running because if the ball deflects off of Lewis, she has to be able to get to second.
Drop ball swung on and missed by Dupont. The other thing I like about that play in the field from Southeast is you had both Paget and Broughton coming in for backup there, just in case the ball did glance off of a glove or was misplayed.
Yeah, the rule of thumb is you go until someone calls you off. Because of plays like that, if it deflects, if it's dropped, there's someone that's going to be right on it. So a really good play. Lewis made it look easy. The backup was there. That's just textbook softball.
First ball thrown this inning by Kate Sheely. It was Laurence Dupont that was at the plate. Thought she struck out, ended up drawing a walk to extend the inning that allowed the 2 runs to score as that skips away back to the fence. Martel finds her way to second base.
And I think Sheely in the circle has done a really good job bouncing back from that in the first inning. It's really hard as a pitcher, as a batter, when the counts change in a split second to be staying locked in. And I think Sheely's done a really good job of that since then.
2-1. Right back up the gut. Sheely goes for the lead runner over top of Lewis's head. Canada going to be aggressive. They send the runner home. Martel in to score. And Dupont stands on second.
Just great base running once again by Canada. We've talked about it throughout the game, them being aggressive. Because Martel was off the bag, it was a great thought for Kate Sheely to go to third. That is the right decision. Ball kind of slipped out of her hand just a little bit, but because Martel put the pressure on the defense, making Southeast play catch, able to score on that ball. She fired her dugout up as well when she got into the dugout.
Manager Brian Jones out into the circle talking things over with Sheely and West. And Riley, you were a catcher, so you've been in these meetings. What is discussed when this happens?
Yeah, sometimes you tell a joke, you laugh it off, you make the situation not feel as big as your mind might make it. And then also you have to tell your pitcher, you're doing a good job. You just got a ground ball right back to you. If you finish that play, you get another out, but no one's hitting her extremely hard, and that's what you got to take away from the first couple innings. So
are you telling the jokes, or was Karen telling the jokes?
Karen can tell a joke or two out there in the circle.
For those who may not be familiar, Riley played for Tennessee and Karen Weekly. Couillard singled with 2 RBIs back in the first inning. That was the ball that landed in what we called the tweener zone.
And I think any infield outfielder who's done tweener drills ton of those balls.
Yeah.
It kind of cringed just a little bit thinking about the communication and how tough those plays can be.
Couillard stepping out. Favorite show, Grey's Anatomy. I'm right there with you, girl. Off speed, Couillard just ahead of it. 1 and 2.
And when Sheely can spot this pitch, looks like a flip change. It is filthy, especially where she's able to tunnel it at the bottom of the zone. That's a really tough pitch to hit if you can get your barrel there.
Back up the middle, just out of the reach of Paget. Runner being waved around, throw to the plate, not in time. Canada trades places. Dupont scores from second, and Couillard into second with another RBI.
Based on the pitch before, the fact that Couillard was able to get back on time and drive something up the middle was extremely impressive. Then the great base running, get around to score, but then Couillard going back to her, getting into second, reading the throw from center field to home, understanding it wasn't a cuttable ball, so she was able to take that extra bag and now be in scoring position once again for her team.
Yulia Couillard responsible for all 3 Canada runs. She has brought them in all by her lonesome. A big cut there from Dondrieu, who struck out looking to end the bottom of the first inning. Dream job is to be a firefighter. Former teammate of mine is a firefighter.
It's a selfless job.
Yeah. That's the one thing I love about all the surveys, and is that one kept in front by Wes. That's a great job behind the plate, but how many want to be surgeons or doctors or win the lottery and give money to charities and to families and do other things for other people?
Yeah, definitely. It really warms my heart reading through all of them. Just their big dreams and aspirations at this age. They're getting closer to having to make the decisions about college, and so they know what they want.
What Dondrieu wants is an RBI single, runner being held up at third base. That was a late call there from Francois Martel, but a good one as Dondrieu 2-out single through the right side.
And Canada having a little bit of a 2-out rally. Dondrieu taking a ball over the outside, middle outside part of the plate, but because she stays palm up, palm down through her swing, staying on the ball through the large zone, allows it to sneak into the outfield. If she rolls over on that pitch because of its location, that could be an out.
Runners on the corner is only 1 away for Team Canada here in the top of the third inning. Lexi Lonière standing in. Lonière grounded out to second base, shows bunt, pulls back, runner on the move. Paget can't hold on, but the runner will stay over at third base. Couillard was already heading back, couldn't get herself collected in time to try and go home.
And that's the right thing to do. If you hesitate, go back to the bag. Don't try and make up for the hesitation and make a play and potentially get thrown out. So I like that decision to stay on third base. Now you got 2 runners in scoring position. You just kept this inning going for your team.
Off the front of the plate. In to score is Couillard. Runners move up 60 feet.
And I think the umpire just called time because we could hear that up here. Hit the shoulder of Charity West. Immediately it bounces off the plate, and that's always a tough as catcher. When it bounces off the plate, it adds a little bit of velocity. You could hear the contact it made with her shoulder, so just it's a tough position to be back there. So selfless, so tough, helping your pitcher out.
Coaching staff could not have been more complimentary of West behind the plate as Lonière fouls that away. Said she's a great communicator behind the dish, and off the field, she's really what coaches want in terms of leading by example.
Yeah, and you want your catcher to be a leader because it's the only position where you got 8 others looking at you. So if you're leading by example, you have that great body language behind the plate. The other 8 always follow in your footsteps.
Stays high and out. 2-2 now to Lonière.
And Dorian, we just mentioned it, some of the aspirations and dream jobs. Lonière's is being a pilot, inspired by Amelia Earhart. So kind of as tough as a job as you can have in trying to accomplish what Amelia Earhart was trying to accomplish.
Lonière chopper to short, gloved by Paget, gets the out at first, but it'll be an RBI ground out.
And I love this decision, this base running decision. As soon as the ball is taking the middle infielders up the middle as a base runner, you go and you try and make it a challenging play. But by Paget to go to first, get the out, that's clutch in the situation where your pitcher is kind of struggling just a little bit to get some outs. So good defense, good hitting, textbook hitting it, making the defense move their feet.
Base is clear for Gagliano, who walked and was stranded at third in the bottom of the second inning. Gagliano got her day started on the front end of a double play. Swung over the offering from Sheely.
And that looks like another speed from Sheely. So we've seen the flip change, we've seen the fastball. Looks like she's also working in an off speed, and when you're facing batters for the second time, it's essential that you're able to change speeds like she just did.
Gagliano leaves that one in the dirt, 2-1. Might be just because I'm older, but I'm loving all the throwbacks to the 90s and early 2000s. Favorite video game is Mario Kart. I played so
I
much
love
Mario
myself
Kart.
some Mario
I know,
Kart.
right? I was a big fan of Diddy Kong Racing as well. 2-1. Strike called off the outside corner as Sheely evens the count at 2-2.
And I wonder what they're playing Mario Kart on nowadays, because I was playing on a DS, Nintendo, also on the Wii, so I wonder what devices. That's probably what's evolved a little bit more for them.
I won't even tell you what I was playing on. The 2-2. Swung on and missed, dropped west to first, but high. As Gagliano keeps the inning alive on a drop third strike.
Just the hustle. Hustle is one of my favorite things in softball. You swing at a ball that was a tough pitch to hit, but because Gagliano turned on her will, was able to get down the line. I really like the backup behind the plate with Charity West. She's been doing a phenomenal job all day, keeping balls in front. Wherever direction they're going, just Gagliano, her speed getting down first made that a tough one.
Brings Sarah Fatusi to the plate, takes a ball on the outside corner. Fatusi grounded out to third for the second out of the second inning. So already Team Canada going twice through the order here in the top of the third. Called strike.
That's a tough pitch as a batter. Can't lie on that outside corner. You got to protect the outside now.
Don't fool anyone as a catcher. You loved when that happened.
Oh, absolutely. I'll take it any day. The further we can stretch the strike zone, but not when I'm batting.
Right. Chopped into the plate and foul.
But for Kate Sheely, if you know you can get that pitch, if I'm her, I'm going to continue to spot in that zone, because she bats as well, so she knows how tough it is to drive a ball on the opposite way to the opposite field, even when it's the zone stretch a little bit.
29th pitch of the inning from Sheely. Low and inside, gets away. Gagliano down to second base, and Canada again with a runner in scoring position. I've been so impressed with their ability to find ways to extend innings.
Yeah, 2 outs have meant nothing for them throughout the game. They've done a great job of being heads up on the bases, pushing themselves. We saw a 2-out, 2-base on that dropped pop-up.
Laced down the right field line. It's going to get down. Another run going to come in as Gagliano comes in from second. 2-out rally continues with an RBI single from Fatusi.
Fatusi battling in that at-bat with the outside pitch. And then on this one, inside out the swing. It's an inside pitch. She keeps her hands inside of it, able to drive it the opposite way. That's as tough as it gets as a batter. All great hitters keep their hands inside the ball, and for her to be able to drive it the opposite way, that's really impressive. And then also to score a run.
That was Gagliano that scored from second, going with 2 outs. She was the drop third strike that allowed the inning to continue. So unfortunately for Southeast, a couple of opportunities to get out of innings without letting runs score. But as we know, softball, that one extra pitch, one extra ball could be all the difference.
Yeah, and we talked about Southeast. They're on the younger side. They only have 2 players that can age out after this year. So this is just some of the things that they're going to learn throughout this tournament and throughout their season. of against older teams or teams like Canada who are taking advantage. You just got to be a little bit cleaner on some of the smaller details in the game.
The Southeast, as we mentioned, they always feel very confident as Kellyanne O'Shea 0 for 1 with a walk. Let's not forget Southeast was trailing in the first game of their regional as Lewis over to first. Great glove to finally get out of the inning. Stevens got the edge of the mitt underneath it, but not before Canada gets 5 more. Want your child to experience the teamwork and fun of Little League baseball or softball? Visit playlittleleague.org and enter your address to find a Little League community program near you. This just the first of the next 6 days of fantastic softball. Fans coming in from everywhere to see some of the best in the world displayed on the diamond, and that certainly has been Turmel for Team Canada. Just 31 pitches through 2 innings, 3 strikeouts already in the book.
Turmel being extremely efficient. He's gotten ahead of the majority of the batters using her hard. She has mid to upper 60s velocity, and a lot of her pitches tail up. One of her best pitches is her rise ball.
On cue goes first pitch, rise ball to Harper Sherrard. Excuse me, Lainey Stevens standing in. Sherrard struck out to end the second inning. So it'll be Stevens and West and Bachknight. A good start here for Shepard. Hitters count 2-0. Check swing foul.
When you're in that hitter's count and you go for it, coaches always say go for it 100%. Even if you miss it, I think with the change of speeds that Turmel's had in the circle, it's been tough for Southeast to be able to pick out what speed they want to go for.
Fisted. Slow roll over to the right side is going to be a tough play, but made in time. Lonier over to Collard to record the first out.
And that was a good job by Turmel to back off that ball, not deflect it, but an even better pitch by her on the inside corner. Good job by Lonier to charge it, make that play, not rush the throw. Canada's defense has been pretty locked down this game, along with their bats. We talked about it a little bit earlier, this game of pitching, defense, clutch hitting. That's what's winning you ball games. That's what's winning championships. And the amount of runs that Canada scored on their route here, they didn't take anything off coming into their first game of the tournament.
And Team Canada's managers and coaching staff talked about the familiarity, as that's a first pitch ball to Charity West, but talked about the familiarity of playing in this type of setting. The 2 Junior League World Series players coming back off of last year's representative here in the Senior League World Series. They said we know what to expect.
And they've been here before not knowing what to expect. and said it was really hard to calm down the nerves of their players. Now everyone knows what to expect. And they even joked and said, coaches, we know what to expect now going into the tournament.
Fouled away from West, got a good swing on it, but sent in the wrong direction. I think the most interesting part about that is they said they had to calm down the pitchers most often, and I think you're seeing with Turmel looking very settled from the get-go.
Yeah, I can't tell or take away any emotion from Turmel in the circle, and that's an advantage as a pitcher. The other team doesn't know if you're high, if you're low, if you're feeling good, if you're not. Just the way she's approaching everything in the circle, very calm, cool, relaxed. I even like how after the inning, after a strikeout or whatnot, she's just walked off the field like, yeah, I do this.
1-2. West putting together a good at-bat here, has fouled off the last 3 pitches. But that's what you expect from a catcher who knows the zone so well.
Yeah, she's been back there all game. She knows what has been called strikes, what's been called balls, especially tight on that inside corner. She's fouling off, keeping herself alive.
Still 1-2. Off speed, stays upstairs, 2-2. This has been the longest at bat that Turmel has had to work through so far in this game. On the outside corner, rung her up. That's the 4th strikeout of the game for Turmel.
You mentioned it, the longest at bat, but Turmel bearing down when she needs to most. I love that she stayed with the changeup, a bunch of different pitches, and then went in. Looks like a screwball in the inside corner, has some good wiggle on it for the strikeout. But we've been talking about it, no emotion from her in the circle. Didn't get too hype on that strikeout.
Going right back to work against Wheeler in the top of the order. Wheeler struck out looking in the bottom of the 1st inning. You can still hear the velo popping the glove really well here in the bottom of the 3rd.
And oftentimes the pitchers, the later in the game, kind of their velo drops a little bit, but not for Turmel. It almost feels like she might be pumping it in a little bit faster.
Caught the outside corner once again.
She's doing such a good job working both sides of the plate. This time curveball, maybe half a ball off, but if I'm a pitcher, I'm going to continue to use that spot if it's getting called for a strike.
Put in play, back up the middle, a 2-strike single off the bat of Wheeler.
Maybe Southeast wants a little piece of that 2-out rally that Canada had going last inning. Wheeler, the top of the lineup. I've mentioned it before this game, but keeping your hands inside the ball, all great hitters do it. Turmel's been doing a good job using the screw on the inside. So Southeast getting your barrel out in front. Wheeler's leading by example in that department.
That's the 2nd hit of the game for Southeast. Broughton takes a ball high. 2nd time through the order for Southeast, and this is the time that you would expect to start to see adjustments. How about Broughton, favorite book, The Odyssey? My goodness. Called strike.
She's probably happy that the movie just came out recently.
I would definitely take the length of the movie over the length of the book.
And that's a tough decision because a 3-hour movie, that's a long movie to sit through.
The 1-1. Off speed, ripped down the 3rd baseline, foul.
You've seen some adjustments from this top of the lineup, being more on time. That time, Broughton early on a changeup. So now if I'm her, I'm early on a changeup. I'm probably going to expect something harder. So I got to be on time for fast.
Stayed low in the zone. Broughton able to tap it away. Foul to stay alive. This feels like a big moment for Southeast. You're trailing by 7 runs in the bottom of the 3rd inning. You have 2 outs, a runner on. It just starting to maybe link together some hits just to get some momentum.
Yeah, especially when it's at the top of your lineup. You know you got to get something done. You got to score or scratch something across the plate.
That'll help. Wheeler on the move into 2nd with a stolen base.
And I really like that decision by Southeast to send Wheeler in that count, as well as the ball down in the zone helped her out. But in the count, that Broughton's in, with 2 strikes on her, you got to expect they're going to try and throw something a little bit out of the zone, so it's a good count to steal on.
Beeler, one of the smartest base runners on this southeast side. The 2-2. Tapped foul again.
Even a little bit late off the bag. You can leave in softball when it leaves the pitcher's hand, and I thought she was on the base maybe half a second late. Your coaches kind of tell you be a little bit early, because by the time you get that body moving, the speed of the pitcher's arm, you'll be on time.
Broughton, another liner. Nearly got our camera there down into shallow left field. Everybody head on a swivel here at Lions Field. Broughton had a triple, 5 RBIs, 3 runs scored in the regional. Would love to get a ribby here. Off-speed check swing. I love these last few at-bats from Southeast.
Yeah, and I even love the smiles that you can see. Broughton smiling a ton during this at-bat. That tells me that she's locked in, she's loose, she's having fun. That was a changeup that she had to battle off. She was able to keep her hands back longer. This has been impressive by her.
8th pitch of the at-bat. Swung on and missed. Turmel unfazed, her 5th strikeout of the day as she strands a Southeast runner. Canada in control as we go to the 4th. Welcome back, Team Canada fans, with a lot to cheer for here in the top of the 4th inning as Canada 7-0 over South Carolina here in our opening game of the Senior League Softball World Series. Canada has scored early and often, and they are back at it once again. 2, 3, 4 in the lineup due up for Canada. All 9 batters hit in the last innings, though they went through the order. And it is still Kate Sheely out in the circle for Southeast.
If you're Kate Sheely, now that you've seen this lineup multiple times, she's got to change a little bit of her speeds up. So work with that change-up fastball, and I think we've seen some of an off-speed pitch. So that's how she's going to be most effective, is changing the speeds, affecting the timing of Canada's batters.
First pitch strike to Catrion Martel. Martel has been on twice today. Bunt single back in the 1st inning, reached on an error and scored in the 3rd. Takes the ball in the dirt there, 1-1.
I think that's what I've been most impressed with, is Canada's base running. I know in the 1st inning they kind of ran themselves into 2 outs, but that did not faze them at all. They were been extremely aggressive, getting runners on, moving them over, setting themselves up to be able to score some runs and just keep tagging on.
Another high strike called by home plate umpire Ham Estrada, so the delivery from Sheely on the 1-2. Martel stays alive. We'll do the 1-2 again. Martel leaves it high, 2-2. Three and two as that one stays up and out. Martel working herself full here in the top of the 4th inning.
Everyone's job when you're the leadoff batter of an inning is to see pitches, get on base. And this is the type of at-bat you'd like your top lineup to put together later in the game.
Fouled away down the right field line. It's Martel, Beaudoin, and Dupont due up for Team Canada here in the top of the 4th inning. Got the game started with a pair of runs in the top of the 1st before plating 5 last inning. Right back as Sheely calmly gloves it, flips it over to first for the 1st out. Team Canada have already plated 7 runs. Run rule is in effect. 15 after 4, 10 runs after 5. Now the trailing team must bat in their respective half of the inning. That would be Southeast. They are the home team, so they would get to bat in the bottom half of the inning.
So for both teams, that kind of puts a little bit of urgency into the game for Canada. As many innings as you can take off of your pitcher's arm, that should be the goal. Once you've scored 7, score a couple more. Give Turmel in the circle some extra rest, and then the urgency for Southeast on the other side. You got to keep scoring. You got to scratch a few runs across to keep yourself in a ball game.
We still have a long way to go in this one. If you're Southeast, you do have to keep in mind this is only pool play. You have 4 pool play opponents. Best records do advance into the single elimination. 8 teams will move forward.
That's a long road. A lot of softball to be played. And that's why it's fun. Tournaments are fun because you get to play great competition. You get to compete at the highest level, but there's a lot of softball to be played.
That one stays low and out. Two-one to Sky. It's going to stay on the infield. Lewis calling for it under it for out number 2.
More great communication from Lewis at 3rd base. That pop-up was pretty high. I was bending over trying to find it myself. Lewis immediately first step back, able to camp underneath it, and catches it at the highest point. But my favorite part of that play is the entire infield communicating. You could hear Lewis call it. There was just no hesitation.
Second straight time that Beaudoin has popped up to Lewis over at 3rd base. So no on, 2 away here. And a first pitch strike to Dupont as Sheely really settling in here in the 4th.
Yeah, she's been most effective this inning, but it's been starting with her getting ahead of batters, then being able to throw some of those pitchers' pitches, and also working the zone with the umpire. She finally understands what she can get called for a strike, what she can get called for a ball, and where she needs to move and adjust.
Called strike on Dupont, 0-2. The 0-2. Swung on and missed. West down to first in time. First 1-2-3 inning for Sheely in Southeast. They've got work to do as they come to bat in the bottom of the 4th. Welcome back. Team Canada leading South Carolina in the bottom of the 4th inning, and Trammell has been relentless in the circle.
She's thrown a little bit of everything, but predominantly the hard and fast. She has that up spin on a lot of her pitches, and later in the game she's brought in that changeup as well as a screwball. She's just looking super calm in the circle, able to spot in all 4 quadrants, but her composure is what makes her so elite. Hasn't been too high or too low in any direction, depending on what's happened in the game.
First pitch ball to shortstop Savannah Paget. Trammell, 5 strikeouts through 3 full innings. She's limited Southeast to just a pair of hits. Ball on the outside corner, 2-0. Trammell has been doing a good job getting ahead of these Southeast hitters. You should ask Savannah what the kids are playing on these days. Favorite video game is Fortnite. That one stays high, 3-0 now. Called strike on the rise ball at the shoulders.
And that's a zone that South Carolina's going to have to defend. Upper part of the zone, and that's kind of Trammell's sweet spot when you're a rise ball pitcher.
Sky, the shallow center field catch is made. Martell under it for the first out of the inning.
Good communication. We kind of saw a ball the other side drop for Southeast, but it's easiest for an outfielder to be able to come in and make the play rather than run out. But Martell's communication from the jump is what made that play look easy.
Kate Sheely standing in. She lined out to shorten her first at bat and chops the first offering foul down the third base line. Now that is something that I do not love. Math as a favorite school subject. It was not my strong suit. There's a reason I do this.
Yeah, I'm with you. I was completely opposite of math. Maybe more so writing, a little journalism thrown in there. I don't like crunching numbers. That's why we work with small numbers like 3-2 counts.
I'll give you one smaller, 0-1. Beautiful off speed from Trammell.
Trammell, we talked about it earlier, not really using a flip change, so it looks like the same speed coming out. She kind of curls that index finger and then almost looks as if she's pushing the ball.
Half swing from Sheely to third. Not in time. The stretch from Couillard, impressive. But Sheely able to leg it out.
That stretch was extremely impressive. It looks like we might have a challenge. Look at that. Couillard at first, almost doing the splits to be able to get this out. And you can tell on her face, based on her stretch, she wanted that call.
So that was Jonathan Dion, the first base coach for Canada, out to talk to first base umpire Brian Doty, and we will have a challenge on that last play.
And I think that's a really good decision to challenge because of where you're at in the ball game. South Carolina's at-bats have gotten better every single inning, and that play was as close as you can get. Now, the original call was out, and I think it's tough to see if Couillard's right foot stays on the bag. That angle's tough to see. You see a little bit of movement from that toe, but we can't fully tell if she's off the bag. Let's see if this look. Now, it's really hard to overturn a call based on what the call on the field was, and that was safe. And there has to be undeniable evidence to be able to reverse it.
That's a very important part of these challenges, the call on the field, and is there enough video evidence? So things that they're looking for here, is the foot on the bag? Do you have control of the ball in the glove at the time that the runner touches the bag? From those angles, partner, I'm going to put you on the spot. What do you think?
I just don't think there's enough to overturn it. Especially with my bare eye, it was so close. Like I said, undeniable evidence, so it's got to be confirmed.
I will tell you, as a former third baseman watching that play develop, I think she was out, but again, it has to be undeniable video evidence. And this is a very important part. You referenced it, very important part of the game. South Carolina, Southeast looking for a little bit of momentum. They need some runners. They were able to erase a 3-run deficit in their game in regionals. Let's take another look here as the officials going through the reviews.
I still think this angle is pretty tough to see. This is going to be a tough one. But you have to shout out Collard.
Yep.
Keeping that foot as close as possible to the bag, if not on the bag. Great work by our camera crew to be able to give us all those angles. And I think the right choice by Canada to challenge this. I mean, by the amount of time it's taking them to review this and get the call, it could go either way.
So that's third base umpire Max Cannon over there taking a look, along with first base umpire Brian Doty. Again, they're reviewing whether or not the call on the field was correct. The initial call was that Sheely was safe at first. Canada challenging the call. They felt that Collard kept the foot on the bag. Max Cannon is our crew chief.
There's a little bit of movement. You just can't tell if it's movement that's off or movement that's just adjusting her position, but it's keeping the foot on the bag.
That's Stephanie Jones down there on the first base line. She played, or she was part of the Irmo team that came in 2024, was injured for that World Series, but said she got an entirely different perspective of what it was like, really got to study the hitters, got to study sequences, swings, and has really used that to help this young team come along in 2026. There's her dad, Brian Jones. I love talking to the two of them and just the sync and the synchronicity that they had.
Yeah, I love how they bounced off of each other in conversation, but I was impressed by Stephanie.
The call is in. Sheely out at first. And there are 2 away in the inning.
Like I said, that could have gone either way. But when you have a stretch as impressive as Gallard's there at first, doing the splits to help out your team, things tend to go your way when you can play that elite. Just look at that. That's something that I could never do, is the splits, especially on dirt with the metal cleats. That's impressive.
First pitch ball to Malia Lewis. Lewis takes a called strike, 1-1. Lewis grounded out to short in her first at bat to lead off the bottom of the second inning. Nebraska volleyball fan, I love that, as Lewis, big cut and a swing through. How about Nebraska filling out the football stadium to watch a volleyball match?
I just love that for women's sports. Being able to do that. Everyone watches women's sports.
Yes, we do.
Athletes are just so impressive across the board.
1-2 put into play. Chopper to third. To first in time. Another 1-2-3 inning in the books for Trammell and Team Canada. 5th inning coming up. Team Canada, a 7-run lead. Welcome back, top of the 5th inning. Team Canada up 7. They've scored early and often.
Yeah, in the first inning, the miscommunication by Southeast plated 2 runs, 2 outs, 2 bases. Love the base running from Canada. Then there in the 3rd inning, tagging on some more. This one a base hit right up the middle, taking those extra bases, and then they keep on rolling, inside out swing. Like you said, they've been scoring early and often, and that's exactly what you want to do in your opening game. Set the tone for the rest of your tournament.
5, 6, 7 due up for Team Canada here in the top of the 5th inning. Yulia Collard, who just made that fantastic play in the field, the stretch over at first to get Sheely, will lead things off, followed by Rosie Dandrieux and Lexi Lognard. Collard takes the ball low. Why is it that so often a great defensive play always feels like it leads into a leadoff at bat that usually turns out well in the next half inning?
Yeah, it does. We talk about it all the time. If the game comes back around, it comes back around and it rewards you. You got the momentum from a good play. The game wants to reward you, put you in the box, feeling good.
Quality sling by Collard, lifts it, foul right back into the fencing here at Lions Field. 2-1 to the first baseman. Team Canada scored 2 runs in the top of the first inning, had the big 3rd where they scored 5. Run rule is in effect if you're just joining us. It's 15 after 4, 10 runs after 5.
Yeah, so this inning, if you're Canada, you can try and put a game away. Starts with the first batter being able to put a runner on, speed up the defense.
Collard slices it foul. A full count to the leadoff batter here for Team Canada as Sheely has stayed in and continued to battle all the way through for Southeast. Third 3-2 count of the game. Ball 4.
You said it, Dorian. When you make a good play, you usually have a good at-bat. That was a good job by Collard. Battling, fouling pitches off, getting herself on base. And how about this? Her favorite hobby, she said, is eat, sleep, and repeat.
Agreed.
Probably throwing softball on that.
Sounds like a great day. It's the 3rd time in 5 innings that Canada has gotten the leadoff runner on. That was the 4th walk of the game issued by Sheely in a first pitch ball to Rosie Dandrieux standing in. Dandrieux a single and a run. Favorite athlete, Aaron Judge. It's a good one to model your swing after.
Her favorite team is Oklahoma softball, so
also good.
Home run hitting all around. Lots of good softball, good baseball to watch.
Yeah, pick your poison when it comes to Patty Gasso's squad. The 1-1 to Dandrieux. Off-speed chop, they go to second. In and out of the glove. Runner safe at both bases as Collard will stay on second. She's been on base all 3 times today.
That had a making for a really good play. Potential double play for Southeast. Great job by Valaire, the second baseman, to flip her hips. Pageant just couldn't hold on to the ball. I think if she came to the opposite side of the bag and stretched towards Pageant, she'd have a better shot at it. But a good job by Kate Sheely to continue to roll ground balls. I think what's kind of been her Achilles heel has been the walks and then sometimes the defensive miscues that tag onto it. But other than that, there hasn't been too many players that have been able to hit the ball really hard off of her.
That one tagged to deep right center field. Catch is made. Collard will tag in advance. That is the hardest ball hit off of Sheely today. There have been no extra base hits.
And sometimes it happens, you jinx it up here in the booth. But I thought that was great base running by Canada. And a good job to tag up immediately when the ball was in the air. Collard getting to third. And the base runner at first taking that lead on the hit, but then retreating back because Southeast cut that ball off to 2. So both sides of the field, first and third, doing a good job.
Brian Jones out to the circle. We do not have a pitching change yet. Did bring the entire infield in, but it will be Sheely who stays on. Runners on the corners, one away here in the top of the 5th inning for Alexia Gagliano, the shortstop. Walked and stranded at third, reached on a drop third strike and scored in the 3rd. Gagliano shows bunt. The throw to third, got her!
And Charity West fired me up behind the plate, getting those extra outs when her team has needed it the most. The pump fake down to second base. Had Collard take an extra step off the base, and that's all you need as a catcher to be able to pick someone off, is them one step behind. I love the double fist pump behind the plate. And when your pitcher has struggled just a bit with maybe a walk or your defense in air, you got to pick them up any way you can. And behind the plate as a catcher, you're kind of that silent assassin there to be able to get those extra outs.
Spoken like a true catcher. As the second runner that West has picked off of third today, did it there, also got one in the 1st inning. So now 2 away, runner on second, 1-1 count to Gagliano. Hit hard back up the middle, gloved by Sheely. Defense coming to Southeast aids once again. They keep Canada off the books. They still trail by 7 as we go to the bottom of the 5th. Southeast and their fans making the trip from Irmo, South Carolina. They trail Canada in the bottom of the 5th inning, 7-0 here in the opening game of the Senior League Softball World Series in Pool B play. This Monday, the opening day of the tournament, will go all the way through Saturday. And a first pitch strike taken on the outside corner for Rylan Earl. 0 for 1 tonight. Loves to watch football. If I lived right by Columbia, I would too. I know that's hard for you to admit, being a Tennessee grad. Earl down the left field line, just fouling quickly. Turmel ahead in the count, 0-2, which is what Turmel has been doing in the circle all night long.
Yeah, she's really been effective because she's getting ahead early in the count. And then she's very versatile with the pitches that she can go to. You call pitchers pitches, whether that's her rise ball, her changeup, or we've even seen her go down in the zone. So when she goes and attacks these batters early, she gets to those strikeout pitches.
The 0-2 from Turmel. Poked foul. I always felt that lefties had an advantage when it came to that, just being able to kind of slap the ball away foul to stay alive and in at bat.
Yeah, it's extremely hard to do, moving your feet at the same time, but they make it look so easy. I've often talked to slappers that say they feel more comfortable moving their feet than standing still.
Just off the outside corner. Great eye there from Earl. Cassandra Turmel just past the 70 pitch mark. The majority of those have been for strikes. Nearly 80% to fill the zone. 1-2. Oh, Turmel on the dirt. We've got the batter out. Home plate umpire is signaling the batter is out, and Turmel a little bit slow to get up. Jonathan Dion quickly out to the circle.
And it looked like when she planted that left foot, the dirt kind of slid out from beneath her. You can see right now she's nodding her head just a little bit. So she looks to be okay. It did rain quite a bit earlier today, and so the first layer of dirt looks really nice. It might be a little bit muddy or like slippery underneath.
And Turmel getting a couple of warm-up pitches just to make sure she is good to go. The fields, though, here look phenomenal, especially considering the rain early in the morning. Now lost in Turmel going to the dirt after that pitch. Her 6th strikeout of the game recorded as Rylan Earl sent back to the dugout. So 1 away here in the bottom of the 5th inning, as we've got a pinch hitter stepping to the plate. Chandler Botnight. A 16-year-old has been playing in right field, so stepping in to get an at-bat here. Favorite athlete, Chipper Jones. Okay. It's a good choice. There's lots of good choices here.
You can tell these athletes are well aware of the sports world. Baseball, softball, volleyball, just all around.
Botnight first pitch, tap back foul. And I like the idea here from Southeast. Go lefties, slappers, get a little bit more speed, put balls in play, try to make things happen. And there's one thing you can say about Southeast, there is never a lack of energy coming from that dugout.
Yeah, we've been hearing them all game long. If you were to walk up, not see the scoreboard, you wouldn't be able to tell who is winning the game.
Tapped foul. That's a great job down there at third by Fatuzzi, because that is a tough play. That ball can bounce back into fair play.
Yeah, you often see little squibblers off lefties' bats, start foul, get back fair. And so it was a good job that she attacked it and picked it up in foul territory.
0-2 to Botnight. Swung on and missed. Lucky number 7 for Turmel.
And Turmel, that was a filthy changeup that she went to in that count. We talked about how she's tunneling that pitch. It looks out the hand like it's gonna be that low rise or her fastball. And because she takes her index finger and kind of curls it, it takes something off the ball. We really haven't been able to see a batter from South Carolina make hard contact in fair territory against Turmel's changeup. It's so super effective and really hard to be on time for.
Southeast will send Evie Adeline to the plate as a pinch hitter. Adeline, a player coaching staff raved about, said she's never not seen her smile. Did Stephanie Jones, just has a personality that lights up the room. Fouled away, 1-1.
Adeline, her dad is a local celebrity. He's on the news. He often does Facebook Live during the game. We're taking a look, trying to look for him down there. We don't see him, but very proud of her dad. Must be nice walking around your town with a celebrity.
Have you ever worked in local news? You done a teleprompter?
I have not. It's a tough task. I've done it in college, reading off the teleprompter. So her dad, he's got it going. He knows how to read that thing. But just from dad to daughter, like you said, always smiling. Gotta have that smile for being on camera.
2-1. Takes it low and in, 3-1. So dad actually narrated the walk-off home run in the regional tournament. And Adeline, hitters count here. The 3-1. Called strike right down the middle.
And either way this at-bat goes for Adeline there in the box. I think this has been a great job coming in, seeing multiple pitches, taking it to a 3-2 count.
Payoff pitch. Swung on and missed. Struck out the side in order. Tramella's retired 13 of the last 14. She and Team Canada are rolling. Welcome back. Kate Sheely still in the circle for Southeast as they trail Team Canada 7-0 here in the top of the 6th inning. And for manager Brian Jones, Sheely hasn't pitched poorly, still trailing by 7 runs. What's the philosophy and the mentality going out in a game like this?
I think for Sheely, she's gotten better as the game has gone on. So I think for Jones, the manager, it's seeing what she's been able to do and what she's able to get out of those nerves a little bit. So I think that's why keeping her in is a good decision. They have multiple arms on this staff. They utilize multiple arms on their run to get here. And so keeping their arms fresh, but also getting Sheely the chance to settle in this tournament. There's a ton of games to be played, and so you want all your pitchers to have this experience and work through some of the adversity, especially if it comes in the first game of your tournament.
There are 4 pitchers on the staff for Southeast. Sheely just hit the 100 pitch mark. 101 results in a ground ball over to third. Lewis to Evie Adeline, who stays in the game after pinch hitting. 1 batter up, 1 batter retired.
And as I just mentioned, Sheely getting better every single inning. Early in the game, some free passes with walks, now becoming more efficient later on. And how about that, a ground out to get your first out. Defense having your back, that always builds your confidence as a pitcher.
Turns the lineup over for Team Canada and Kellyon Haché. Haché walked, was thrown out at the plate by Sheely in the top of the 1st inning, lined out to center field, and retired via a ground out. 1-0. Curveball just missed. 2-0. Haché saying as she shows bunt and pulls back for a called strike. Haché saying her favorite thing about playing Little League is getting to play in international tournaments like this.
Yeah, how fun is that? You're playing a team from much further away, but for Canada, when we talked to their managers, they did tell us that they often have to come to the U.S. They spent time at IMG Academy in Florida playing against their JV team.
Ashe hard on the ground to short as Paget over to first in time for the second out of the inning. But in Quebec, even north of Montreal, so they're 45 minutes north of Montreal. But in that part of Quebec, they can't even get on the field until May. And so they have to go to some warmer climates to be able to find places to play, better competition to play. You mentioned IMG. They also spent some time in Texas this spring getting some reps there. And so it's carried over here into international play.
Yeah, to be able to compete with teams like South Carolina that can get on the field more year-round, you've got to do some traveling. And it's definitely paid off. You can tell with their play today.
I thought growing up in Pittsburgh and getting on the field in March was bad. But Francois Martel telling us it's May to September up there.
But a lot of these girls, because of being able to get on the field later, they play other sports. And one of the sports we learned about was ringouette. And it's hockey with the same stick, goal, everything on ice. But instead of shooting a puck, you shoot a ring.
Yep.
So we got to learn a little bit about some of the other sports. A lot of them still play hockey, but ringouette.
I did some Googling after we had that conversation, but Catriona Martel plays flag football at school in addition to softball. I love the multi-sport athletes, by the way. I think it's so important, especially for girls this age, girls younger, to be able to diversify, experience different sports. Plus, it teaches you just so many different things about yourself. First walk of the game issued by Turmel. So 2 on with a runner on for, excuse me, that is Sheely in the circle. So a walk issued by Sheely. Keeps the inning alive for Team Canada.
And Dorian, I have to go back to the multi-sport athletes. There's a ton of them throughout this tournament, and it makes you a better softball player.
I agree.
Makes you better in every sport. Your hand-eye coordination is different in one sport than the other. Your athletic ability, mental toughness, and then it all translates. I played at the University of Tennessee, and Karen Weekly, my head coach, she talks about to this day that one of the first questions she asks recruits is, what other sports do you play? And that comes to mind is Carlin Pickens. She played softball, basketball, and volleyball throughout her high school career. And look at all that athletic ability translating through college and as well in the professional leagues.
Can all 3 of those sports make me throw like Carlin Pickens? Because that would be amazing. Martel thought about going to second, decides to retreat back to first. Beaudoin at the plate. She's popped up to third in each of her last 2 at-bats. Did reach and score in the first. Yeah, my mom drew the line at hockey when I was growing up. Didn't want to get up for the ice time. Runner on the move. Throw in time. But Martel able to beat the tag throw just a little bit short on a stolen base.
And from our angle, Dorian, I thought this play was much closer than the umpire made it seem. It looks like Paget there at shortstop was in front of second base by a significant amount, so our angle is tough to see. But Martel, the speed, she's been moving around these bases. One of my favorite things that Martel put on her form is that she's family friends with Celine Dion.
Yes, I would be shouting that from the rooftops.
The connection is with her dad, Francois Martel. The manager went to school with Celine Dion, kept that relationship, and like you said, I'd be shouting that.
Is it went into business with her sister, right? Yeah. Listen, this is instead of 6 degrees of Kevin Bacon in Canada, it's 6 degrees of Celine Dion. Grounder, slow roller over to the right side, flip to first. Good job by Sheely to get out number 3 and get out of the inning. Now Southeast will go to work in the home half of the 6th as they trail by 7.
Cassandra Trammell for Canada in the circle has done a little bit of everything in this game. Last inning, struck out the side. First strikeout came when she slipped after throwing the pitch, came back right with the changeup, as well as finished the inning with the rise ball. And Dorian, I think the most emotion we've seen out of her was actually when she slipped after the first strikeout of last inning. She gave us a little smile when she was getting back up, but she has just been phenomenal with her change of speeds in the circle. I think that's why she's most effective, is the rise ball. That's the mid to upper 60s, and then that changeup looks to be 10 miles per hour or even more of a speed differential.
Cassandra Trammell working on a 2-hit shutout, facing Charity West to lead off the home half of the 6th inning. Trammell has retired 7 in a row, 8 strikeouts overall in this game. West 0 for 1. Liner up the middle, gloved to first, and hit hard. But a routine 6-3 ground out.
And Charity West hitting the ball hard. Sometimes you hit it right back at people. With the help of Cassandra Trammell in the circle, the deflection allowed for Gaglione at shortstop to be able to be in front of that ball. It's probably one of the harder hit balls we've seen off of Trammell. Went right back up the middle.
Rolls thing over to the top of the lineup, and Mindy Wheeler, who has one of the 2 hits tonight. She singled in the 3rd, stole second base, and was stranded. Other hit belongs to Savannah Paget. That came all the way back in the 1st inning. Off speed, taken for a called strike, 0-2.
In the 1st inning, Trammell wasn't spotting the changeup for a strike. It was kind of just a throw off the timing of the batters, and as this game has progressed, she is using that for a called strike. And as a batter, that is as difficult as it gets, knowing that any speed can be a strike, so you have to foul pitches off. You gotta work counts. If I'm Southwest, I might even think about picking a speed to sit on, because she's been throwing it in all counts.
0-2. Wheeler liner down the right field line. Stephanie have a head on a swivel down there over at first.
She's talking to the coaches on Canada, laughing a bit. Looked like she was saying something about she didn't know which way to move, and when the ball comes off the bat that hard, sometimes you just gotta close your eyes and jump one direction.
Swung on and missed. Trammell pulls the string again.
I just can't get over how good this changeup is. From up here in the booth, it is so hard to identify, so I can't imagine being in the box with less time, not being able to pick out what speed.
First pitch ball taken high by Addie Broughton.
Once again, just filthy. Being able to spot that at the knees, lower in the zone.
1-0 stays high, 2-0. From a catcher's perspective, when a pitcher is throwing a changeup, is the discrepancy in velocity or the location more important?
I think both. It's a combination of both. Obviously, the velocity would probably be the #1 because you've got to change the timing of batters.
Broughton to 3rd. Broughton going to reach with 2 away.
Southeast just trying to scratch along anything they can by hitting the ball hard. Broughton did a good job getting that barrel to the ball. When you get barrel to the ball, you hit balls hard, makes it tougher for defenses to make plays. Fitusi, just slight bobble on it.
Broughton snaps a streak of 9 straight retired by Trammell in Canada. Paget takes a first pitch ball. Paget has the other hit for Southeast. Singled in the 1st, but was stranded at 1st on a line out by Sheely. Paget had a pair of home runs in the regional tournament, so plenty of pop in the bat.
And she hit a really clutch home run, a 3-run home run to send their team 2 extras. So So clutch player at the plate.
Takes a called strike high. And that was part of a come-from-behind win against Tennessee in the regional tournament. Ended up going to 8 innings, won that game 9-7. They trailed 7-4 going into the 7th. Way ahead of that off speed as the count now 2-2.
I honestly feel like Turmel in the circle has taken even more off of this pitch as this game has moved along.
1 on, 2 away, 2-2 count. The pitch put in play to short. Gagliano to first in time to retire Paget. Southeast gets 1 on, cannot move them over. We head to the top of the 7th inning. It's 7-0 Canada. Coming up next here at Lions Field, Southwest will be taking on Latin America. Southwest coming out of San Antonio, Texas. That game coming up just a little bit later. First pitch expected somewhere around 8:30. We have to get through this one first. Canada leading 7-0 as we go into the top of the 7th, and Southeast going to the bullpen with Emma Grace Birchmore.
And Birchmore is going to be that mid-50s. Not as fast as Sheely, the starting pitcher, but they told us, coaches of Southeast said that she has great control on her pitches and is able to really locate the ball on both sides of the plate. So really looking for her to be able to keep this ball game in reach for her team on this top half of the inning by spotting the ball, getting ahead, and working quick.
Evie Adeline staying in at first base. Harper Sherrard into right field. So defensive changes for Southeast.
1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3.
That's like
1, 2, and then 3.
got it. Hi.
4, 5, 6 due up for Team Canada. First pitch ball delivered from Birchmore to Laurence Dupont, the right fielder, who has been on and scored twice today. Reached via walk and scored in the first. Reached on an error and scored in the third. Line drive out to center field. Coming on and making the catch is Rylan Earl.
And what a read from Rylan Earl in center field immediately off the bat. I played catcher, I've played outfield. Outfield is tough because of line drives like this. Your first step is so important, as well as the tail off a right-hander's bat. It's always going to tail more towards right field. So just heads up in center field. It always starts with the first step.
And no hesitation there from Earl to record the first out of the inning.
4, 3. 4, 4, 3.
Julia Coulard standing in. Coulard has been on all 3 times today. Really unlocked the scoring for Team Canada. Brought in the first 2 runs in the first inning. Knocked in the first run of what ended up being a 5-run third. Walked and was retired her last time at the plate.
Coulard's had a day, but what stands out most to me is that stretch at first base.
Yep.
Controversial call, went to a challenge, but she kept her foot on the bag. It was overturned from safe to out. Good hitting, but even better defense.
Collard up the middle. Birchmore has it over to first. So quickly 2 away from Team Canada here in the top of the 7th inning. And worth noting, Canada hasn't had a hit since the 3rd.
And Birchmore, quick work, like you said, inside corner, jamming the batter. And if you're Southeast and you know to score 7 runs to tie it in the bottom of the 7th inning, you want to have an inning like this where you can gain a little bit of momentum. Try and go 1, 2, 3.
We'll see Dondria. Dondria 1 for 3. Uncle Glenn Curry played in the NHL. Some good family history of athletics right there.
Man, good inspiration.
Yep.
For young people get to the big leagues. You're playing in the Senior Little League World Series on TV. You're making your way there. How fun is that?
Curry spent time with the Washington Capitals and the Los Angeles Kings, so 2 really good franchises. Dondria takes the ball off the outside corner, works herself a 4-pitch walk.
And for Canada, especially Dondria, when you see that scoreboard, when you're up by 7 and you know that all you need is 3 more outs, sometimes you tend to be less patient, so that at bat to me is impressive by Dondria, continuing to keep this game going on the offensive side for her team.
Lexi Loniar standing in, hit the ball hard in her last at bat, lined out to right field. Number on the off speed just in front of the plate. She is going to reach, and those balls are always tough.
They are. The swinging bunts in softball are probably pitcher's least favorite ball off the bat. Great spin by Emma Grace in the circle, but just couldn't quite get her hand on it because of how much it was spinning off the bat of Dondria.
I remember as a player, as a corner, Lewis too far back to make that play, and you really only have the opportunity to barehand it. By the time you glove it, it's too late. First pitch strike to Alexia Gagliano, the shortstop. Gagliano walked and was stranded at 3rd, reached on a drop 3rd strike and scored, and then grounded out in her last at bat. Oh, that one driven high and long. It's gone! Alexia Gagliano, 3-run home run. It's a 10-0 lead.
And look at that celebration by Canada, waving out towards center field. And it looks like they put on a moose hat, but this swing, getting a pitch on the upper part of the zone, that's the easiest pitch to hit out of the park because you don't have to drop that back knee as much. The base runners for Canada knew it. The energy from Gagliano, what a start to this tournament for Team Canada.
Never a doubt off the bat of Gagliano. First extra base hit of the game for Team Canada. First hit since the 3rd inning as Francois Martel coming to home plate. It looks like we're going to get a substitution here in the top of the 7th inning. 2 away for Team Canada. It was going to be Sarah Fatusi due up for Canada.
Home run ball. Yeah, give that to them. That's a home run ball.
We'll go into the bench and get Rosalie Paradis to the plate. Now this game from Team Canada likely going to make everyone else in Pool B stand up and notice, as they have scored double digits both of their regional tournament games and now here in their first outing of the World Series.
They have really dominated in all aspects of this game. See the scoreboard, the 10 runs. They've constantly put base runners on, but then on the other side in the circle, Trammell has been outstanding. Definitely a team that everyone's going to keep an eye out for in this side of the tournament.
Last 3 games, Team Canada has outscored their opponents 35-3.
Sometimes it takes teams a little bit to warm up when you get in tournaments that are on bigger stages, and for Canada, that's just not the case.
Repentigny takes a called strike there. Well, to your point, Brian Jones told us that about Southeast. He said the Bats took a little bit of time to warm up in that regional tournament, but once they got going, they put up some impressive scores, some run rules of their own to fight their way back into that championship game. And if you're Southeast, that's what you're bringing back coming out of this one. Now, there still is half an inning left to play. Anything can happen. You and I both know that. But there are positives to take from. That ball staying high. Another walk issued to Paradis. And in reality, Team Canada has only had 6 hits.
So there's a lot to take away from this game. Either way it goes for Southeast. For the pitchers, only 6 hits. Just limit some of those walks, you're in a ball game. And then for the Bats, like you said, gotta get them warm. They have a good opportunity in the bottom half of this inning to warm those Bats up.
Kellyanne Haché takes a called strike on the outside corner to start her 5th at-bat of the evening. 0 for 3. Favorite food, lasagna. I can't disagree. I love some lasagna.
Yeah, good lasagna. It's making my stomach growl a little bit right now thinking about it.
Do you put anything in yours? Like, what do you like your lasagna with?
You know, I can probably eat any type of lasagna. I'm not picky at all when it comes to food, but especially lasagna. Just give it to me warm and I'm good.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of spinach lasagna. Like, it's cooked well. Ooh, so good. That one fouled nearly straight back away. One, two. Little flare Paget there to make the catch. Southeast gets out of the inning, but not before Canada scores 3 more on the big home run by Alexia Gagliano. Welcome back. Canada up 10-0. Southeast down to their final 3 outs.
It's been all Canada. They opened up the game, scoring some runs, but in the third is really when their offense exploded. The 2C going the opposite way, but it has also been pitching from Turmel in the circle. She has been phenomenal, working different speeds, different zones, but the cherry on top, Alexia Gagliano, a home run, a 3-run home run. The best part, their celebration. They say bye ball, waving to center field.
Cassandra Turmel. That was just her 98th pitch of the evening. Had a stretch where she retired 9 batters in a row. 9 strikeouts. in her ledger so far tonight. Swing and a miss by Sheely. 4, 5, 6 due up for Southeast. So if you want to make something happen, this is the meat of the order. This is who you want.
The mentality at this point of the game, when you see the scoreboard, you see you got to score quite a bit of runs. It has to be a pass-the-bat mentality. It cannot be one swing gets you back into the ball game. It has to be a quality at bats and stringing things together any way you can.
Sheely tapped back to Turmel, who records the first out of the inning.
And one way to shut down momentum of another team in the bottom half of the 7th inning is getting that first out. And having played all levels, you understand how much momentum one base runner can be. You're Canada, shutting down the hope of the other team that they can get something going.
Seems like the first out is always the most difficult in the final inning as Malia Lewis stands in. A pair of ground outs for Lewis. Another Mario Kart fan. What character were you in Mario Kart?
I was always Princess Peach.
Yes,
just lots of fun. She had the cutest colors, in my opinion.
I know. 0-1 to the third baseman. That one stays too far out. 1-1. Hard over to third. Gloved to first, but not in time. Lewis reaches with one away here in the bottom of the 7th.
Lewis keeping South Carolina alive in this game. All day she's hit the ball on the ground, and every at-bat she started to hit it harder. This one, even harder at Fatusi there at third base. But as long as you got one strike left, you're always in a ball game. So for Southeast, seeing a base runner on, you can try and get a little something going.
Southeast getting back into their dugout. Brianna Boyle, the 17-year-old, coming to the plate. First strike swinging. Boyle collects seashells. I feel like South Carolina is a really good place to do that. Good contact, but fouled right back into the fencing. The 0-2. Check swing, strike 3. 10th K of the night for Turmel.
And Turmel has not let up at all in this game. This pitch is just nasty, where she's able to locate it, bottom half of the zone. Change of speeds, it's gotten better throughout the night. If I'm a batter, I'm gonna do my best to hit in the earliest part of the count so I don't have to fight off that changeup.
Harper Sherrard hitting, and we've got a pinch runner coming in, as well as Kat Goff over to first base in place of Lewis. I'm with you. I was always an early count hitter. I didn't want to have to deal with off speed, so I was always looking for something in the first 2 pitches that I could drive. As a catcher, I was gonna say, as a catcher, I'm sure you would notice that, though.
Statistically, that's the highest batting averages, is that 0-0, 1-0, 2-0. Hitters counts early, even 1-1 can have a high batting average. Good pitchers, they get ahead. Good hitters, they try and attack early.
Sherrard behind in the count, 0-1 after fouling off the first pitch. Swung on and missed. 0-2 as Southeast down to their final strike. The 0-2. Well over the head. Throw to second, nearly in time. Goff, though, in safely.
With this backstop, something that both teams should be aware of is how it kicks off. Great read by Goff to get to second. But I love the throw by Ashe behind the plate. Just thinking about the next play.
And threw it on a rope. 1-2. Line down the left field line, but foul. That's a great job by Sherrard. That was an off-speed pitch. So many batters have not been able to fight it off.
Yeah. The name of the game on a changeup is after that front foot gets down, you have to keep your hands back longer. And that's why she was able to get a bat on that ball.
The 1-2. Lined, or rather sharp ground ball, this time down the first base line. So Sherrard battling here in what could be Southeast final at bat of this opening game. Sliced foul. What impresses you most about Sherrard's approach in this at bat?
Her ability to trust her eyes, and that releases her hands. She's getting her front foot down earlier than a lot of the other batters for Southeast, and that's allowing her to get to that hitting position and identify what speed the pitch is going to be. So it's the ability to get to the hitting position, and then once she's in it, to trust. And also the way she's battling. She's got one strike to work with, one out to work with, going against Irmo, who's had a phenomenal night.
In the dirt, squirts away. Goff going to advance to third. So Sherrard has worked herself a full count. She hit 3 foul balls hard. Do you go back to the changeup here if you're Trammell?
If I'm Trammell, that's exactly what I'm going to, especially because the previous pitch will throw off the timing. And it's been working so well for her all night.
The 3-2. Stays low. Sherrard works a 2-out walk. Southeast has life. Runners on the corners. First walk of the night issued by Trammell.
And we talked about it. Sometimes the hardest out of a game is the first out of the last inning, but just as hard sometimes is that final out for a pitcher. You can see the light at the end of the tunnel.
Evie Adeline came in to bat. Last time through for Lainey Stevens, struck out part of a strikeout the side inning for Trammell. He can catch food in her mouth. That is a special talent indeed, as she swung on and missed that curveball on the outside corner. Shouldn't specify the food though.
Maybe she means she can do it all.
Multi-talented. The 1-1. Called strike. As Trammell works ahead in the count, 1-2.
That's what she's been doing all night, working ahead of the count, being able to go to those pitchers' pitches. It's just a matter of if South Carolina can continuously foul pitches off and keep himself in at bat.
Adeline chops it foul, stays alive. And really the way that Southeast has been protecting with 2 strikes, Sherrard and now Adeline, has been really impressive.
It has. Something they can definitely take into the rest of the tournament. Their 2-strike approach has been really good. Like I said earlier, the ability to trust their eyes once they're in the hitting position.
1-2. Swung on and missed. How fitting for Canada and Trammell. Change up on the 11th strikeout of the night. As Trammell, 7 innings, 2 hits, 11 Ks as Canada is moving on.
Canada, in all phases of the game tonight, executed at a very high level. But like you said, the performance in the circle by Trammell, backed by the hitting, especially that Gaglione 3-run home run to seal the deal. Canada, I'm circling them in my book as a team to look out for moving forward.
Team Canada made a statement in the opening inning on their way to a 10-0 win as they open up World Series play with a victory over Southeast. For Riley West and our entire crew here in Delaware, I'm Dorian Crafts saying so long, Team Canada, your winners 10-0. Don't go anywhere. Pool A coming up, we've got Brazil taking on Texas.